It is always an honor for me to speak with people. As I speak through this instrument, I have no prior knowledge of who will hear my words. It may be a few, it may be many hundreds, or perhaps over time, many thousands. But as I always say, the truth has no favorites. I speak to you all in love. And there is a recognition within myself that this of which I speak, this individual who is hearing these words, is but a facet of my own being. For I think not in separation, but in unity. I have no interest in the color of your skin, your gender, your age, your beliefs. I am only interested in the fact that there's a part of you that wishes to listen. Perhaps you have engaged out of curiosity. But perhaps there is something deeper that is calling, something deep within yourself that wishes to know the answers to the many questions that arise from time to time in your mind. It is quite obvious that the nature of life on Earth for many people is challenging. Within those daily challenges, some which are very extreme in their nature, there is the inner desire to improve one's lot in life. In the most extreme cases, this can be simply survival, living, existing, maintaining one's position upon the earth in a body, especially when threats are all around and one's very being is challenged and compromised. Within this runs a thread of wishing to improve one's self, wishing to be happy, wishing to be content. This takes many forms. But the desire to add something that one is lacking seems to be prominent, particularly in Western society, where the access to certain resources is readily available. You are all familiar with the advertising machine that is employed by corporations, governments, individuals, those wishing to sell you something, or who are trying to convince you that your life will be enhanced if you adopt a certain way of thinking and behaving, or if you simply add something that they tell you you need. So this culture of adding things to oneself is endemic in society. And the means to achieve this end is often available to the mind that seeks whatever it has decided it needs. But my question to you is this: instead of simply seeking to add something to yourself in the belief that it will make you happier, it will make you better, will somehow enrich you, make you into that which you desire to be, what can you lose from yourself? What can you surrender? What can you give up? What can you let go of? Can you let go of fear, for example? Can you surrender desire? Can you go beyond ego? Can you free yourself from anxiety and worry? Can you let go of the need for constant reassurance? There are many things that humans seek to add, but very few that they are prepared to relinquish, or perhaps think that they cannot. When you let go of something, there is always something greater to be gained. When you let go of fear, superstition, you find that peace resides. When you let go of strife, of searching, of trying to obtain, constant effort, then you find that peace resides. When you stop labeling, when you stop deciding what you are or what another is, what you would like to be in terms of status, social position, importance, authority, and what remains is stillness. So in loss there is gain. There always was, there always will be, because this is how the law of the Great Spirit operates. There can be no giving without receiving. And when you relinquish this constant striving to add something, in that giving up, in that emptiness, is fulfillment. In that emptiness you are filled. Try to remember this, that the true nature of your being, which is peace, stillness, and joy, and love, requires nothing to be added unto it. It is always present, and yet you cannot always recognize it, because such is the nature of the activity of the mind and your engagements with thoughts, emotions, perceptions, activities, so on, so forth. These veil what you truly are. This is only a temporary veiling, because nothing can touch your true nature. Nothing can remove anything from it or add anything unto it. But the mind is so powerful. The mind is so strong, and the will, allied to the emotions, are very powerful. When I say to people, can you move beyond the lens of the mind? Can you move beyond thinking, beyond excessive thinking? Often the response is, why should I want to stop thinking? Everything comes through my mind. I rely on my mind and my thoughts to come into understanding, to better myself. The very notion of relinquishing the desire to add anything is anathema to so many. And yet I maintain that the surrendering of this addiction to thinking, this addiction to adding, this addiction to searching, to wanting, to becoming, is the way that one actually comes to rest in one's true nature. Don't take my words for it. Examine this. Think deeply on it. Question it. Test it for yourself. Spend a few moments, if you are able, just to sit quietly, away from your technology, away from your phones and your computers and your televisions and your newspapers and all of the things that distract you, ensuring, of course, that what has to be done is still addressed. But if you can sit quietly for half an hour of your time, simply be, just be. It's not even a question of making a connection with your higher self, because that suggests that there is a disconnect and that your higher self, whatever you consider that to be, is something separate from you. But it is not separate. It is you. Imagine, if you wish, the sky beginning to clear. The clouds that block the sun simply drifting away. What remains but the light of one's pure being, shining its divine radiance into every facet of the self. You will find here a peace, a stillness, a joy, a happiness that perhaps until this point you have thought elusive, separate, outside of yourself, as if there could ever be anything separate or external to your true being. Everything that happens, everything that is witnessed, occurs within your own presence, your own consciousness, your own beingness. Lose yourself in the peace, the stillness of your center. What I'm saying to you is beyond words. I can only point to it. I can only suggest where it might be, but it is not hidden. Nothing is hidden. It only appears to be hidden because the mind obscures it. So think upon these words and have no fear in loss, in giving up something, in relinquishing, in letting go, in surrendering. This constant striving to add something. One final point to those of you who are deeper thinkers. There's nothing wrong, essentially, in wishing to learn, in wishing to add things. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there is. Only that it should not be the absolute focus, the absolute requirement of improvement, of adding more and more in order to achieve something. Less is more. And the happiness and the freedom that you seek can never be through the acquisition of anything, but rather the simple recognition of your true nature. I will leave you to think upon these words. If you find that they resonate with you, then accept them. If they do not, let them rest somewhere where they can be easily found when you need them. May God's blessings be with you all. Till we speak again.